Thank you, French Shalom, and greetings to you all. Now, did you call or visit your mother? It doesn't matter if she's here or not. She was your guiding light, and her spirit is still imbued around you. Mother, the anchor of your family. And how are your conversations with God going? Talk to him. He'll talk back. Ask him questions. He will answer. And of course, when I say he, it's he, she, it, or I guess nowadays it could be Z or something like that. Yes, the reading of ancient texts helps keep us closer to God. It's the same with when we use our prayer books or anything else. But just go for a walk. Look around. The trees, the skies, the birds, all the wonders of life. God is all around you. Evidence of a giant jigsaw puzzle of pieces, multiple pieces just fitting together. Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. Now, the world's a huge connected organism. Your families, your friends, your pets, your cultures, your countries, you with everything around you, all connected to each other. So let's share that connection right now as we come together as a community. Like-minded, like-souled unification of spirit, the collective consciousness of seekers coming together and showing a faith of love, a community, a chavur, a fellowship, expressing our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach. So once again, please do go ahead. Invite everybody you know, physically, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Come together. Hine Matov. Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov. Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. 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 Together. And as a community, let us all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the entire world. Remember, friends, this is your sending some of that goodwill that we all generate out to the universe. Now, as we send out goodwill and love, let's take a moment to invoke healing and renewal for everyone, everywhere, for everybody you know, for the souls and spirits of everybody you know. So think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love, or maybe just a little bit of goodwill. We all can use some goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people. It's for our pets, for the earth. It is the healing of the world. The Tikkun Olam, that's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. For Gabby, for John and Jesse, for Chris and Ben and Steve, for Martha and Bob, and for Devorah, whose birthday it was the other day. A big birthday, but they're all big. And speaking of birthdays, Bob Dylan's birthday is coming up at the end of the week. And we hope he continues along forever, and a never-ending tour never ends. And of course, renewal for all of you, because you need renewal too, friends. It is the kindness, healing wishes, goodwill, and love that we all send out. It just circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world is a world full of spirit, and spirit never dies. May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body. The renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Misha Baruch, let us all have our spirits renewed, my friends. This is the great prayer for healing, in which we call upon God to heal as he has healed before. Misha Baruch, may he who blessed. Let's all heal as we pray for renewal and gratitude for the wonders of our lives. Now this week, we have a great catch-all kind of parsha to share that will tell you almost everything you want to know about the Jewish holidays. All in one spot as we read emor, say. And who doesn't have a lot to say about holidays? You know what? We all love holidays. I've been thinking the way people do about the things that matter to me and you. I've decided to do find the kind of man that I really am. I can see the world from here, and it sometimes makes me want to disappear. Back to nature, where we belong, and with just one truth I found you can't go wrong. Wherever you go, whatever you do, whatever you say, say it with love. Say everything to everyone with love. How hard is it? Be nice, be kind, be compassionate. These are all the things that cost nothing, but bring great dividends to life. As a setup to the holiday section, we're reminded of those who will oversee and help guide us during the holidays and through the holidays. Now, we recently saw a new class put in place. The group will be responsible for the maintenance of the holy place of God, the conducting of sacrifices, the health and well-being of the people, the moral fabric of society. And there's a strict code put in place for that new class, the priesthood. Their rules have to be stricter. They live in the presence of the Lord. They are holy. Oh, yes, I hear you. You're right. We all are. We were told we all are. But perhaps, like an animal farm, some are more holy than others. They cannot marry whores or divorcees, and they must marry virgins. See, the priest has to marry a virgin to ensure the purity of the priestly line. We're also told, Leviticus 21:16, no man of your seed to their generations in whom there is a defect shall come forward to offer his God's bread. The priest cannot have defects, no handicaps, no injuries, like the sacrificial animals that are rejected if they have any. Now, by present standards, most would judge this to be unkind and hurtful, to exclude an injured person from the priesthood. We saw that, the standard of not doing that applies in the biblical world in ethical matters. You have to be considerate of those who are handicapped. We're told in the Torah that we have to be. In fact, it is incumbent upon us to help them, to care for them, and to reintegrate them into the whole, back into society. But in the ritual matter of the priesthood, we're told physical conditions supersede such considerations. I finally found the way to live just like I never could before. I know that I don't have much to give, but I can open any door. Everybody knows the secret. Everybody knows the score. I have finally found a way to live in the presence of the Lord. In the presence of the Lord, that's where the priestly class will always be. Now, I think God actually accepts the handicapped, the infirm, those who are strong, those who are weak, those who seek to reconnect to the spiritual wholeness of life. I don't think anybody is rejected. Holidays had a special meaning, and they were geared towards the spiritual cycle of life and as ways of showing gratitude. Now, we think of holidays a little bit differently, and my suggestion is change the I for Y. It's not a holiday. It is a holy day. Each of the holidays, or holy days, had to do with God. Leviticus 23:1. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the Israelites, and you shall say to them, these are the fixed times of the Lord, which you shall call sacred conventions. Now, we were told that there's like 3 assembly times, and we're going to get the highlights of them, but we're about to get this Reader's Digest version of the Jewish holidays. It's a great listing of almost everything you need to know. And I said almost in my introduction, and I just said almost now. You see, the summary's purpose here is to instruct the people on how to observe the holidays properly. As you read it, you will notice there's no connection to events, not even to the Exodus, not even mentioned. 6 days shall tasks be done, and on the seventh day an absolute Sabbath. A sacred convocation, no task shall you do. It's a Sabbath for the Lord in all your dwelling places. Sabbath. Now, the Sabbath we know is the day for sacred time when you cease your regular working activity and you be with your community, your family. Now, the weekly Sabbath is not the same kind of fixed time holy day. Now, this is really about the fixed time festivals that mark the calendar, mark the sky. And notice that there's no names of the month used, just their numeric position, but it starts with Sabbath because that's the reminder of how important Sabbath is. These are the fixed times of the Lord. Sacred convocations, which you shall call in their fixed time. Now that's our preamble to the list. In the first month, on the 14th of the month at twilight, a Passover offering to the Lord, and on the 15th day of this month, a festival of flatbread to the Lord. 7 days shall you eat flatbread. On the first day, a sacred convocation, you shall have no task of work shall you do, and you shall bring forward a fire offering to the Lord. 7 days. On the seventh day, sacred convocation. No task of work shall you do. Now that, of course, is Passover. When you come into the land that I'm about to give you, and you reap its harvest, you shall bring a sheaf, first of your harvest, to the priest. And you shall count you from the morrow of the Sabbath, from the day you bring the elevation sheaf, 7 whole weeks shall they be, until the morrow of the seventh Sabbath. You shall count 50 days, and you shall bring forward a new grain offering to the Lord. Now that is obviously the holiday of Shavuot. Shavuot being 7, so it's 7 weeks. Now for each holiday, we are also told to sacrifice in the process, and we're given a reminder of our moral obligation. And when you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not finish off the edge of your field your reaping, nor gather the gleanings of your harvest. For the poor and for the sojourner you shall leave them. I am the Lord your God. You are your brother's keeper. Protect those who need protection. Care for those who need care. And treat everybody the same, whether they're an alien or a visitor or part of your clan. In the 7th month, on the 1st of the month, you shall have a Sabbath, a commemoration with horn blast, a sacred convocation. No task of work shall you do, and you shall bring forward a fire offering to the Lord. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, and the 10th of this month, the 7th month, is a day of atonement. A sacred convocation it shall be for you, and you shall degrade yourselves, and bring forward a fire offering to the Lord. And no task shall you do on this very day, for it is a day of atonement, to atone for you before the Lord your God. No task shall you do, an everlasting statute for your generations in all your dwelling places. An absolute Sabbath it is for you. And you shall afflict yourselves on the 9th of the month in the evening. From evening to evening you shall keep your Sabbath. Now these, of course, are the high holy days. The unnamed holiday on the first day of the 7th month, now called Rosh Hashanah, and the Day of Atonement on the 10th, Yom Kippur, a Sabbath, a ceasing. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the Israelites, saying, on the 15th day of the 7th month, a festival of huts, 7 days to the Lord. On the first day, a sacred convocation, no task of work shall you do. 7 days you shall bring forward a fire offering to the Lord. On the 8th day you shall have a sacred convocation and bring forward a fire offering to the Lord. It is a solemn gathering. No task of work shall you do. You shall take you on the first day of the fruit of a stately tree, fronds of a palm tree, branch of a leafy tree, and willows of the brook. And you shall rejoice before the Lord your God 7 days. And you shall celebrate it as a festival to the Lord 7 days in the year, an everlasting statute for your generations. In the 7th month you shall celebrate it. In huts you shall dwell 7 days. Now that's my wife's favorite holiday, Sukkot. And of course, it gave you the instructions on putting together the lulav and the etrog. Now, it's a fantastic summary of what the calendar kind of looks like. Read it. It tells you the hows and the whats. And for many, it tells them everything they need to know. But there are reasons for why we are to do these. We focus far too much on the doing and not the understanding or appreciating, not the why. And none of the why is contained within this section. And I see that so often when conducting services. People don't know the why, they just know how to do. Tell me why you cried and why you lied to me. Tell me why you cried and why you lied to me. Well, I gave you everything I had, but you left me sitting on my own. Did you have to treat me oh so bad? All I do is hang my head and moan. Tell me why. The why, my friends, is so important. If you tell them the why, they can get it. They'll understand it. It'll make it a part of their lives. Now, this speaks to the divergent approach that is so often taken in life and in religious practice. I know many spiritual leaders who emphasize the how, the process. And you may spend your life learning to be great at the performance of all kinds of liturgy while knowing nothing about the why. I try and teach the why. If you cannot connect to the why, you're going to have a hard time connecting to what the holiday represents and inculcating it into your soul. When you can do that, it becomes more meaningful to you. Now, I don't care so much how you do it. We have a great list of sacrifices, and I don't know about you, but I haven't seen one done in the last 2,000 years. So knowing all the steps of the sacrifice just isn't as important as knowing why. Read this section. Look for the reasons to believe and take the whys to heart. If I listen long enough to you, I'd find a way to believe that it's all true. Knowing that you lie straight face while I cry, still I look to find a reason to believe. Someone like you make it hard to live without somebody else. Someone like you makes it easy to give, never thinking of myself. Now, we love having something to believe in. It's important to have something to believe in, something that guides the moral compass of decency, of humanity, our true north. Yes, my friends, the world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish, celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, and be blessed. Share and honor the light, and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone, and end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together, we celebrate each other, we love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally, so let us send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. Send out love. And please do learn to forgive. It's an important thing to do. Learn to forgive and learn to love, including yourself. Open your hearts and honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have. We share this journey together. We take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now bless you all. Have a fantastic week, a week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intentions. Use them to imprint your will on the universe, but remember, we set in motion everything that happens in our lives. Our intention, our kavana, our cause, our effect, everything is linked. As I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what is good and bad, so acknowledge what you have done wrong to yourself, wrong to God, wrong to any person that you've harmed, and ask forgiveness, but do so with sincerity, with accountability and vulnerability. Forgive those you've hurt, as you learn to be a more forgiving and compassionate person. Because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace, my friends, is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world just as they are? Can you accept life just as it is without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So do not stop your journey. Keep on dreaming. Keep on being. Keep sharing. Keep shining. Keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear. Follow love. It's always in front of you. And remember to have faith, an unwavering adherence to principle, just as I have faith in the principle of love in all of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none. Defraud none. Hate none. Cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year, and may you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go. Work to be present in the body. Expand your heart and quiet your mind, because the deepest source of real power, it lies in your consciousness and your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. So make the most of your time in this life. Continue to touch and transform the lives around you. You're never alone. You're forever blessed, and you have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet. Health, love, renewal to everybody you come across. We're all energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Friends, your words are your power to transform, to love, to bless. So be generous with them. Bless others and bless yourself. And love with the heart, because we're all part of a greater whole. So embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger. Be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. And continue to explore faith and belief. And never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel, others have felt. Whatever you've experienced, others have too. We share together, we learn together, and we help each other. We are each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives, so find them and tell them what they mean. Remember, you're never alone on your journey to your promised land. Watch your words. They hurt you, they heal you, they imprison you, and they free you. Think about the people you need to forgive and those you need to ask forgiveness of. Forgiveness comes from acceptance, and that brings peace, and peace, my friends, can last forever. So enjoy the week. Continue to imprint your will upon the universe, and remember, you do not need a holiday to call your mother or your father or anyone else for that matter. Call them because you love them. And remember to honor everything because of the why, not the how, not the where. Why don't we do it in the road? 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 No one will be watching us. Why don't we do it in the road? One of the great Beatles songs. Shabbat shalom, blessings to you all, and I'll see you all soon. You take care, and we'll see you next week.